other. So human decisions are often affected by where we look at and how we watch each other. So the idea of joint attention means that the two people look at the same thing at the same time, like this image. So many studies are looked at this in cooperative tasks, like working together to find something. But in competitive games, can also show how players perfect or react to each other. Our goal is to understand how eye movement works when people compete and not cooperative. So early research found that partners often show synchronized gaze and mutual understanding in cooperative tasks. However, there are not too many studies about competitive situation. Some results show that players using gaze to plan movement and make a decision. So recently studies using eye tracker and EEG together show that eye movement are connected with brain activity during action and decision making. So, but only a few studies have looked at competitive games using EEG and gaze data at the same time. So for my experiment setup, so we use a board game called Hex Game. Two people played while wearing EEG cap and had muted eye tracker. So we recorded data for 4 devices. The eye tracker, which include gaze data and video data. Video data is from the human's first view. And the EEG systems and the Seco toolbox for timing and triggers. And motion camera to record the movement of each step. So all signals were synchronized. So we could match every movement, gaze, and brain signal in one time. So each game followed a rhythm of 15 beats per minute. On the first beat, player placed pieces. So this will be a strong beats. And then there will follow the 3 weak beats. This means subject need to wait and make a decision. So the strong beat took them to move, and the weak beat for the thinking and waiting. So each session has 6 games. The customer trigger signal make sure EEG, eye tracker, and camera recording were perfectly aligned. So this is our trigger systems. So we use a photo sensor to send the Seco toolbox timing signal, and use a circuit board to send motion camera trigger signal. And the Tobii eye tracker can send the trigger signal by itself. And all of this signal will send to the EEG system as a trigger channel. So in this way, every event, like a move or a gaze change, can be matched across all recordings. This is very important for studying how the brain and the eye work together in time. So for the data processing, we are using OpenCV to find the board and mapping the gaze points. We choose this method instead of deep learning because it is faster, lighter, and it does not need too much training data. So it works by finding the lines and the corners of the board and then applying perspective transformation to fix the camera angle. This method is a roast and a camera shake, two camera shake and different lighting, and it runs automatically. So here is some example of the system. So because each player is wearing camera on head. So their view of a board is from a different angle. To compare the two players, we use this method, perspective transformation. So it changes both view into the same coordinate system. So after this step, we can see exactly where each players are looking on the board and find the shared gaze, or maybe it is a joint attention. So here is here shows the example of how the board was being detected. The program finds the center of the hexagon and at first every hexagon centers as much as possible. So and then detect the colors as the edit and fit a line. And then I can get the four corners, four lines crossing as the four corners. And this is how I find the four corners of the chessboard. So this is a stable method to find the four corners of the chessboard. So using this pipeline, we found many gaze convergence events. Moment when both players look at the same center or close. This event often happens near key intersection on the board. On average, each convergence lasted about 0.4 seconds per event. So this means players sometimes share attention while competing. This in the next step, I will make this analysis fully automatic and connect it with EEG data to study brain responses during shared gaze. So this slide shows a short part of in one game. The red and blue lines shows the gaze position of subject A and subject B. So the yellow area and the angle green arrows marks time when both players look at the same place. These are the gaze convergence moments. They usually happen right before an important move, meaning both players were looking at the same cells to make a decision. So this one is the full motion, full data of the motion camera. The x-axis is time, and the y zone is board position from A1 to H8. So red and blue bars shows when pieces were detected on each cell. A longer bar means the pieces were placed earlier and stayed longer. Usually there are 6 games or 5 games, sometimes if one is used for training. So the yellow box inside of this image marks the same time section showing in the previous slide when both players passes crossed, their chess pass crossed, and the gaze convergence occurred. So this let us compare when players look at a cell and when they actually moved. So this system works well, but it still has some limitations. Sometimes the video quality makes the corner detection fail, like the first image. And a lot of times the bottom edge is not always occurred, and some noise maybe happen. Maybe it's environment circle or something will influence the detection quality. So these small errors affect gaze mapping accuracy. I am planning to improve the algorithm to make it more stable and automatic, especially for linking with EEG data later. So in summary, we built an OpenCV-based system for mapping gaze to the hex game board. The setup combined EEG, eye tracker, and motion data in the synchronization. We found that joint attention can be a pair event in the competitive games, and it may affect how fast and where players decided to move. So in the future, we will study how these gaze partners are related to brain activity and strategy. So this work was supported by JSPS Kakenhi and a joint research project between University of Lorraine and the Kyushu Institute of Technology. So thank you for listening.